basically, I create a bunch of YouTube content. And it's like IT support, technical support. I help people get into IT. I help them with their resume, and then I do labs as well, and I go over the ticketing system, just all like entry level stuff.
Okay.
Um, and every once in a while, I would jump into Danish's channel, and we would do labs together, and then he would jump to my channel, and we do labs together. And basically, our focus on YouTube is basically helping everyone on YouTube, the YouTube community as a whole, to understand IT, but also get a job in IT. And that's pretty much what I do. That's my focus. And I don't have a platform or anything, but I help people get into IT. And that's
Okay.
basically what I do. So.
Haifa, would you give him a little intro about yourself? And this way, and by the way, guys, would you guys mind? I mean, this is getting recording right now. So if Haifa, you're not coming on a camera, so maybe I can use this for other people too. And
Yeah, yeah,
Kevtech, if
absolutely.
Kevtech allowed me
Please.
to, Kevtech, would you allow this to be on the YouTube?
Yeah,
Because
that's
this
fine.
is such a good thing, because a lot of people will be having the same type of questions. So it's good to have that. So
Definitely.
Haifa,
Yeah.
maybe you should give some introduction, and then I can mix it up with some of the questions for you if
Sure.
things are.
I have a networking diploma that's obsolete. It's from, I don't know, more than 10 years ago, probably 15 years ago. I never worked in the field. And a couple of years ago, I stopped using technology as a whole. Like, I mean, smartphones and whatnot, but I don't even drift towards laptops or computers. And then I decided to I decided that I wanted to start a job with help desk and move up from there. So that's where I'm at.
And Haifa basically didn't just come straight without any I would say she called me, she asked me like questions like every single thing. Hey, is this platform, are you going to teach about this and that and this and
Mhm.
that? And it's not like she just started right now, right? You did your research, right? I just
Yes, I
want to say
did.
that on the YouTube video, that people don't come and don't take this training like we just go, oh, this is a good platform, let me just go and do that,
Oh,
right?
no, no, no. I did my research.
Yeah.
I looked at the difference between I think it's called CompTIA. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I looked at that website and I looked at the difference between what you offer, what this company offers and what other companies offer, including the A plus, like that company specifically. And I weighed it out, and I thought that the price was good for what you offer, and so far day what are we, day 3?
Day 3. Mhm.
It's been, I've learned so much so far. I don't think I would have made this much progress if I did it like studied alone or did like the CompTIA like flashcards and book and whatever. I think I learned way more because it's hands-on. It's on a server and you're building things, and I I don't know. That's just the
Yeah,
way
and
I learn it.
the other thing is that and the reason I want to make this point out, Kev, is that we don't pursue people to take our training. It's more like, are you sure you want to take this training? Because this is what I'm going to be offering you. This is what I'm going to be doing. At the end, that's what I'm going to be giving you. And there's no like gray area in the training. We basically tell people that we're going to teach you as much as we can and give you the skills, but there's no guarantees that we're going to give you a job or anything like that. So I
Mhm.
like to say that clearly to a lot of people before they invest not even a dollar. And even before that, I was pursuing Haifa to look at my free content, right? Haifa, I was like, go
Mhm.
check that out, because that's a lot of content right there. Check the YouTube channel out and everything before you make these decisions. And of course, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to go that way, and there's going to be a lot of people that they're going to need that one-on-one. And that's kind of like where she made that decision. And then once they make that decision, Kevtech, we just go, we just kind of like take it as a passion, right? We don't go by the timing. So usually our website says 12 to 2, Kev, and we never finish at 2. This is like, it never happened in my platform. I always, if it's 3 people or 1 people, I always go with them till they get their, till I know that I've broken that, what I wanted to basically, kind of present it to them. So it always be like 3:30, 4. That's why I said in your session, like you're like, hey, I'm gonna go live at 1, and I'm like, oh damn, man, I can't do that. I cannot be available at 1. But this is why the whole thing is so one-on-one, and we talk to users, and that's where we get to know them like that, So it's pretty fun, but at the same time, it's a lot of work.
I wanted to add one more thing,
Mhm.
and this is no disrespect to Job Skillshare, but I was extremely skeptical with with like taking this course, and
Mhm.
I'm so glad that I what is it? Um,
The myths.
what's the phrase?
Yeah, it's myths.
No, something about the bullet. Whatever. Whatever that phrase is. Sorry, I'm not American fob.
Uh,
But yeah,
well,
I'm so glad that I
and that is the reason why I don't like to promote our platform and market it in a way that, you know, how people do like email marketing, and
Mhm,
people will send you emails upon emails upon email just to get you in. We don't do that. Like, you will never see an email from me. The reason for that is that, you know, I want people to invest money and they'll be really happy with whatever the decision they made. But I
mhm,
totally understand your point too. Like, who would invest $1,000 in a
mhm,
platform, to think about like, oh my God, that's like, you know, it's a lot of money when you think about this type of content and you think about other content. You know, Kevtech, a lot of people compare us with Udemy type of courses. That's $10 course, right? And I'm like, Udemy is not a one-on-one type of platform. It doesn't give you labs. It doesn't give you all that kind of stuff. It doesn't give you mentorship. So there's a big difference that a lot of people don't realize. When people are brand new, they kind of compare that type of money with this type of skill sharing kind of thing. And then I tell people that you don't, if you're like, you know, that's just not to you, Haifa, but like people, if people are skeptical, then I say that I am teaching the same exact thing on YouTube for free, and I've been doing that for 5
mhm.
years. So if you combine my videos with your current live sessions, you will see that my YouTube videos are way more than what you are getting. But what you're getting is me one-on-one, and
Mhm.
also I'm giving you what after that 1 year access to the huge access, that is
Yeah.
routers and everything. So people don't,
Servers, yeah.
yeah, so people don't take that as a consideration. They just start comparing about, and then that's where when I tell them like, oh, are you sure that I have 1,000 plus videos on YouTube, and that's exactly what I'm teaching, and there's a course out there, and I actually collaborated with Kevtech on that too. And then when they check that after 5 days, they'll come back and say, I think I'm sorry. I think I kind of like really made my decision pretty quickly. And I'm like, you don't need to sorry. It's a human nature. People
Mhm.
have to do that. It's just normal. But for me as a platform, like, you know, I'm running this platform, so I'm always in a battle in this area where it's going to be always, I have to defend this, right? Like I have to always say something about it,
Yeah,
like, so, because whenever it comes to money, you know, you gotta, that's something you have to deal with.
of
So,
course, especially
so
in this country. Mhm.
do you have any question for Kevtech about like, you know, anything about, do you feel like you have something that's in your mind, because this guy has a lot of knowledge, you know, I would say.
Um, so far, no, but I do have a general question.
Mhm,
You were saying hardware.
mhm.
Do people focus on hardware when they're actually in help desk, or is it mainly software related issues?
I would let Kevtech try first.
We do need to, you need a, for like, so for hardware, you need to understand the fundamentals of hardware. So basically, like, you need to understand memory, graphics card, a motherboard, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But when it comes to actually like doing the physical hardware, we don't really do that. It depends on the environment. It also depends on the company, because some companies will have you physically touch the hardware and actually you change the memory, you change the hard drives, and you'll be involved in actually doing hardware support. While other companies don't do that, other companies will require you to work with a vendor like HP, Dell, Asus, Lenovo, any
Right.
of those types of vendors, and then basically they will handle the hardware. So you would deal with the vendor, and basically the vendor will get the part, the
Mhm.
product, or the number of the part. Like say for example, it's a hard drive, then they
Hmm.
will go and replace the hard drive for you. You don't have to do any of that. You just got to contact the vendor basically and
Okay.
make
Yeah.
sure make sure it has insurance or has warranty,
Okay.
and then the vendor will handle it, and then you work with them that way. And then obviously if it's something that's not covered by warranty, then you would just get a new computer depending on
Yeah.
the
Okay.
environment.
I
So
I
told.
think I was
Mhm.
specifically asking about, sorry, I didn't mention this in my question, but Ethernet cables. Like I was doing one of the videos for the pre-class videos, and they were
Mhm.
talking about twisted pair cables and whatever. Do you have to make those? Like, is that why they went into such
No,
detail about those
no,
things? Like,
no,
no, not at
or
all.
repair
no.
them,
So,
or
so,
is it
so
just
here's,
like,
so here's my
okay.
answer to that too, because you know you're going to be going in for these jobs now. What Kevtech is saying is 100% right. You gotta at least know the basics of hardware, right? You gotta know what this model. For example, if that's a Dell and your company is using Dell
Hmm.
laptops, you need to understand. Okay, how can I find the warranty of that Dell? by looking at the serial number, going into the website and calling the Dell technicians actually, right?
Yeah.
And then working with them. Either you do that, or you just got to know at least the basics of, okay, if I'm doing a dual monitor, of course, that's all hardware right there, right? That's no software. So you're going to understand that. You're going to know which type. Are you using DVI? Are you using, what's that, VGA? Are you using different type of cable? These cabling, you got to know that. Now, here's a question for you. And you'll be thinking, okay, we're going to touch a lot in this for phase one. We're also, our focus is extremely about help desk skills that will let you get a job, and you do perform like 60 to 50% of the time. All these tickets are going to be like on Active Directory and software and stuff like that. But there's going to be always that first case where you have to deploy a machine somewhere, right? For example, we talked about, hey, Hadi is going to start his work, and you are going to be the first one to go to his office and plug everything up for him. And I'm sure for now, everybody's using dual monitor. You got to set those dual monitors up, and you got to work on that setup, right? This is a part of that, Active Directory user getting added. So you should be thinking right now, okay, how am I going to learn that? And that's where we really work on. And this is where, like, you're going to now understand that why phase two is so important. So if you look at it, can you see my screen?
Yes.
If you look at phase two, this is actually your course, and we bought this access inside. When you bought our training, you bought this for 3 months. There you go. Yeah, there you go. So now you see you got testout.com in phase two. You're going to be extremely focused on phase two right here. I'm not sure if my screen is big enough, right? Is it good now? Okay. Now.
There you go. Yeah, that's better.
So if you look at it right now, look at the system components, and now you see why we stop people. We don't go into this kind of stuff in our training. Why? Because it gets boring. It becomes like an old method of training, like how they teach in universities and colleges, because that's the first thing they do. They open test out just like us. We're not the first people to reinvent the wheel for test out, right? Test out is used by a lot of big colleges, a lot of big universities, and I can guarantee you right now, go to any university right now, they're going to have either test out or they're going to have practice labs. So we did what? We got you test out and practice lab, right? So it's just kind of like a crazy thing, because if you look at it here, you're going to come over here, you're going to spend that 1.5 months just to learn this stuff. And the cool thing about test out is Haifa, because it's simulated and it's hands-on. So look at this. If I click on stall supply power and you click on it, and it will open up this lab for you. And now you actually going to have to install that, doing it in their system, and that's it. This is,
okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so you can even see, you can click on the power button here, you can even drop this wire right here, plug it in here. You see how I plugged it?
Yeah.
So that type of visual training,
I see what you're saying.
is, yes, exactly. So we don't waste our time on like, okay, let me just show you this laptop right here, and I'm gonna, in my training, like I spend another 2 hours just to explain, okay, this is the CPU and all that. We don't do that, because there's a better thing available for you right there, and that's your 3 months access rather than just 1 or 2 days, because I know realistically you cannot learn these things in 2 or 1 day right now. That's just a realistic answer, right?
Right.
So that's where, even when you come to the test out, Haifa, we basically then tell you exactly that, okay, you're not going to be spending everything like you're not going to be doing this like from A to Z. There are specific things in testout.com too that we think is not important for you. For example, I might tell you, don't focus too much on Linux. Even if you're going to go for a job, if they have something Linux, you just have to tell them that I have done all that stuff on my Windows stuff, but I can learn Linux. If you guys have Linux, I'll learn it. If you have Mac, I'll learn Mac. You see, so how, we don't let you lose your focus. That's what I'm basically saying, because the world outside is too big for you right now.
Linux is, sorry to have cut you off, but Linux is considered higher than Mac and Windows, right? It's more advanced.
No, it's not considered higher than these two, because both are very advanced. But the thing is this, that Linux is used not for specifically for help desk titles. So you can do a test by going to Indeed.com and just type help desk. So you're not going to see too much Linux with the help desk titles or IT support titles, stuff like that. So when they hire Linux people, they probably will give them a Linux engineer title or something like that. Most likely, they don't use these. The jobs that you're going for is not like designed for Linux, basically. So when you say, okay, is it higher or not? That's because, think about it. How many people are using Windows like as a user? So if you go to any company right now, and you go inside that building, you will not see Linux out there. People are like Linux commands and using that. They're always going to use Windows, mostly like 90% of the time, right, Kevtech? I mean, you work in this stuff too. So you're not going to see hi-fi, like you're not going to be supporting Linux like how as a level 1. That's what I'm saying. And so if you want to learn Linux, that's something that's going to be later on, later stages where you feel like, okay, I want to become more of a Linux engineer so I can do that kind of stuff. And that's going to be more of a Red Hat and more of the enterprise level Linux, operating system, CentOS. A lot of people are using these kind of things. So these are different level out there that you're going to be touching if that's what you want to do in your life.
Okay.
If you don't want to do that, if you want to stick to the flow of how we're teaching, probably you're going to end up as either as a network engineer, or you're going to end up as a sysadmin or cloud engineer, because that's where our kind of flow is right now. Most of our trainings are kind of like in that flow. So both are very advanced. Both can get you up to $100,000. Not in the beginning. The beginning is like you're going to always start with like either in your area, you're in Maryland, right? You're going to either see something from 35 to maximum probably around 50s up right there. And somebody just landed a job from Kevtech channel about $52,000, right? Maxwell something, right?
56,000.
56,000. And that's the person. He didn't go through our training, by the way. He just kind of like did it his own thing. And then we have the tons of people that have landed a job from our training, from our trainings, and landed from 35 to 55 to 52. So that's where you're looking for right now, especially in DMV area. Does that make sense, Haifa?
Yes, that makes perfect sense.
Okay. So if you don't have any questions, and also Kevtech, you are more than welcome to spend another 5 hours with us, or you can leave if you get tired. It's up to you. Okay.
I'm so sorry. Could you gentlemen give me 1 second?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Thank you.
We'll chit chat with each other for now. So Kevtech, how do you see this? Like, this is how we do things. This is how we are, like, pretty much like if somebody asks a question about hardware, then we have a solution. Hey, okay, we don't go into hardware. There you go. We got give you a full simulation for 3 months. That's where you learn hardware. We don't go into extreme basics of details about like certain things that it gets you like boring area, right? Like IPv4, understanding of that. Everything is covered right here. Our focus is a lot in the beginning to break it down for them and teach exactly what we're doing on YouTube, but in more like specific step-by-step format. So something you should do with us, man.
I like the setup, because like I seen videos where the person talks and talks and talks, and he talks and talks, and then he goes over something, and all he does is talk, and then he doesn't really show you anything. And then I seen other videos where they basically, they're like, in this video we're gonna go over hard drives, and they start talking about, it's just
it's like a 30 minutes video, and then at the end they're just like, plug in, plug out. Yeah, okay, we're done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this is more like hands-on training. So
it is. I mean, even like, for example, the reason we even I think test out is a lot of hands-on, and it gives you that theoretical understanding. So for example, Kev, if somebody takes an Active Directory training from us, I'll show you something here, or NTFS training.